Hey there, Chloe here, your podcast co-host. With everything so heightened right now, fear, stress, uncertainty, it's clear that self-care isn't just nice to have, it's essential. And let's be real, a bubble bath just isn't always going to cut it. We know that when the world feels heavy, tending to your energy is just as important as anything else we do for ourselves. That's why we put together the Ultimate Self-Care Bundle, a collection of the top 5 self-care practices we use on the daily to clear our energy, boost our vitality, and stay resourced in times like these. Inside, you'll get the golden rule to health, well-being, and happiness. Yes, it's a game changer. An energetic detox bath recipe that's way more than a bubble bath, a quick immune boost we swear by, and 2 other powerful tools to reset and recharge when you need it most. If you're feeling drained, overwhelmed, or just need a real reset, grab your free bundle at lachiaramethod.com/podcast-bundle. That link is also in your show notes. We hope these tools support you as much as they've supported us. Now let's get on with the show. Welcome to the Activate Change podcast, where transformation is just a conversation away. Some episodes drop you straight into the healing field itself, where you'll experience raw, unscripted healing sessions where you're invited into the room with us. An intimate front row seat to emotional release, energetic transformation, and profound awakening. All of these sessions are led by Gabrielli La Chiara, renowned healer and creator of the La Chiara method. Others widen the lens through unfiltered and expansive conversations with thought leaders, healers, and change makers exploring what it really takes to grow, heal, and live with integrity, resilience, and joy in these unprecedented times. Most of these conversations will be led by me, Chloe Faith Urban. I am the co-director of the La Chiara method and also have a private healing practice of my own. This isn't just a podcast. It's a come as you are, cry if you need to, permission to be human kind of space. We're not here to fix you. We're here to walk the wild, wacky, beautiful path of life with you, one messy, magical step at a time. In this episode, Gabrielli has a session with Paula, a lifelong helper who's longing to let go of her inner saboteur and step fully into her life's purpose as a healer. Together, they explore what happens when old fears, from childhood messages to past life memories, keep you small just as you're ready to expand. As Paula moves through the instinct to shrink and the ancient belief that her gifts aren't safe, she begins to reclaim her courage, her voice, and her right to be seen. What unfolds is a powerful moment of remembering as she anchors into the truth that her light is not a danger but a calling, and that she is finally free to follow it. Let's dive in. Hi, Paula.
Hi, Gabrielli.
Hi, thank you for choosing to do this podcast session with me.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm going to just take a minute to land us. I know we were landing before we jumped on here, but let's land together. I want to do those invocation of portals, which are places, imaginatory places in our mind and our hearts and our psyche that help us to really create space for the body and allow our bodies to be incredibly deliberate about what we process in present time. So opening the delightful, I'm seeing just the magic inside of the redwoods trees and all these places around our energy field, at the treetops, at the moon, in the center of the earth, that just are like little beacons of support. And invoking that we get to use our imagination and our energy and our presence to be so incredibly clear about what you need today. And we get to invoke very specifically, Paula, that this is for you, that your body, your being, your soul, your spirit are leading us and receiving what is most generative for today's journey. And activate change and generate healing. Good.
We didn't really talk about what you wanted from your time today. So I'm curious about how I can help and where we are
So,
going to focus. Yeah.
yeah, the word sabotage has been
Mm,
coming up.
mm,
Um, Recognizing that I think it might be combined with perfection,
mm,
that sometimes it's hard to move forward and to do things. I'll stop and I'll procrastinate. An example is just starting my practice. I want to
mm,
go back, excuse me, back into the website and make changes. I've made a few changes and I'm procrastinating. So
mm,
I'm not having the clients that I would like to have.
mm.
I'm not doing marketing. So it's like, I want to do this stuff, but where's the block
Got it.
for me? Yeah.
Yep. Hmm. Got it. Okay. Let's dive in there and see what's going on. So you're talking about self-saboteur, not necessarily saboteur, others sabotaging or feeling sabotaged by others, or is it a little mixture of everything, just so
I
I can
think it's a
clarify this
mixture.
feeling?
I
Okay, good.
think a lot of it is old stories
Mm,
about,
mm,
whether I'd be able to succeed.
mm.
Um,
Yeah. And I'm hearing,
so
and I'm hearing because you're talking about being a practitioner in your own right, like a coach and showing up and doing healing work and like creating your own, having your own website, creating your own practices, right? Like, so I really get it that like right at the precipice of such a big growth spurt, you're going to hit some of the old energies that may block your trust in yourself or like faith in that process or deserving or whatever might be in there. So let's tear at it a little bit. I usually say
okay,
that, but let's dive in there.
well, we're going to tear it like a piece of bread.
It's kind of what I was thinking. We're going to open it up and see what's inside, like,
Okay, yeah, sounds good.
yeah, I love it. I love it. When I said saboteur and I included others, like a sense of feeling sabotage, I got that shivery backbone,
Mm.
intensity of like, wait, what is in there for injury recall? And when has it been true that you really have been sabotaged or held back by others?
I think I can go back to being young and being in school and singing and being told to be quiet. I was too big, so I got the sense of, like, don't draw attention to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Mm-hmm.
you just want to be the center of attention? And I have to admit, maybe there was some part that at times I wanted to when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel, actually, as I'm standing here saying this, I feel my feet are in mud.
Mm-hmm.
So not being able to move forward, um, to do what feels like I am meant to do. Because this
I'm like
feels this.
so teary, like so teary. Like they're like pools in my eyeballs that want to just flow through.
Mm,
Like, and this sense of like the internalized aspect of that. Not only did you hear that, not only were you told that, but some part of you really believed it. Like you believed
Yes,
you weren't supposed to even want that. And what's wrong with
yes.
wanting to be the center of attention? Sometimes that's amazing. And sometimes it's required, as you say, as you step in to the agency to create your own life and to
Hmm.
say, this is the work I want to do. It may require being willing to have the attention focused on you so that people can see you. Right.
Right,
Um,
right.
but the indoctrination that only kids are allowed to be the center of attention, or like we're not even supposed to want that at all, or that, let's go there first. I think we can
Okay.
move some of
Yep.
that and see, go to the grit kind of under. It's like gritty. I feel the mud you're talking about, and in the mud it feels sharp almost. You know, the way it's like it feels like it's
Oh, yeah,
scratching you
yeah.
too.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's not just heavy. It's like, you
As you
know.
said that, I pictured pieces of glass in it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I
Yeah.
just got like
Uh,
so many shivers on
yeah,
that.
me
So
too.
let's go to the injury recall, um the godzillions of micro messages and macro messages that have gone into you that suggest that you are not safe to be you, that you shouldn't even want that it's actually grandiose and wrong to desire attention and to be big, to be bold, to be powerful, to be different, to show up and express who you are, to even be free enough to not care what anybody else thinks and just have a moment to like liberate that joyfulness, and clearing any and all of the ways in which these got in here and tangled inside you so intimately that it's hard to know what's true and what's not anymore. And release, injury recall, physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, energetic, genetic, past, present. And my goodness, do I feel all the ways in which you set that into motion for your safety forever, for the future. Activate change and generate healing. Immediately. Ooh.
Yeah.
My lips are shivery. What's going on for you?
And as you were saying that, I heard in my head, don't get too big. Don't get too big. So
whose voice is that?
a protective part of me.
Yeah. So let's think that really wise part of you that said, I know how to do this. I'm just going to tell myself not to get big because look at the danger it causes. Look at the upset it makes. Look at the rules. I got to follow the rules. Talk about touching perfectionism, right? I got to follow the rules to the T. That's how I stay safe. And everything that was true. I want to honor all the ways in which not getting too big was helpful. You're alive, you're here, you're breathing, you're still seeking. You didn't even give up. And let's just hold any aspects, any dynamics, any energies of that were helpful, and honor and regard. And activate change and generate healing immediately. And it touches on how whatever, if that was a parent or a sibling or a teacher or family member, whoever's telling you not to get big, it touches on also honoring their need for safety. And there's something about not only doing it for you, but doing it for others that I'm feeling important to acknowledge. Like, you weren't just saying, oh, I have to do this to keep myself safe. You were saying, oh, the people around me are unsafe. And at least that's what I feel. It's like, oh my God, their safety depends on me staying small.
And I can see that to an extent with where I am in the birth order and wanting to take care of everybody. So yeah, that makes sense.
And would there be soul speak in there as somebody who would have known early on that you were here to help others? You were supposed to be helping people feel safe?
Yes.
Yeah. So any and all ways in which you knew, when did you know that you were here to help and that part of your job would be to create more safety if possible on this planet? When did you know that?
I was under 3.
Yeah. I'm so teary. It's such a powerful acknowledgement. Let's just I'm going to invite you into your heart, into your, wherever you want to go inside, to find the part of you that knew so quickly, so early, that you had a job. And it was going to be important to your soul to bring safety to this planet. Yeah. Please share, please.
Yeah, it makes me smile because I have a brother who's 17 months younger than I am. And the house that we had, the bathroom was like an outside door that had windows and stuff. And we locked ourselves in the bathroom somehow or other. And my brother's crying, and I'm going, it's okay, it's okay. And I took the trash can and threw it through the window.
Oh my God.
So that we could get out. And I felt so proud of myself.
You should have been proud of yourself.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. How adorable. Oh, feeling her, just feeling her. You knew in your bones that it was your job. You were going to comfort and you were going to take action, and you did. And this is part of who you are, Paula, to the core of who you are on this earth. To guide, to comfort, to take action. And if that up until now has required a lot of staying small, is it time to renegotiate that?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Does it still require you staying small in who you are, not breaking into your offerings, not giving more to this earth, not offering the healing, coaching, life work that you're meant to offer? Is it helpful to stay small still?
No, because as you're saying those and not doing it, I feel my throat just closing up at the thought of it. So,
okay. So let's go there. Go into the place where your throat is closing up. Let's see if we can feel what needs to be spoken. Yeah. Who, what, where, when, why is that?
I'm not getting anything.
Okay.
So
Good.
there must be something. It must be really something. Something's
Right.
hiding behind the
Since
door.
you know from the work that when we go blank, sometimes that is like the moment before we get something we've never really heard or felt or known in the same way before, right?
Right.
So let's stay in that blankness. I'm going to give a second before I share what was coming in for me. So we'll go back in and see what pops up in. Okay, Paula. Who, what, where, when, why tells you to be small?
I can see it from school.
Let me
I
ask
can see my dad.
Oh, good. Yeah, good.
My dad.
And is that a contract with him in this lifetime? Through your soul or from a past lifetime?
Past.
Is there one?
Past.
And there is one. Okay.
Yeah, past.
So any contracts with your father in particular, that lineage, with any other lifetimes that you agreed, is there some place you may have agreed to stay small, to help him, to be present, to be part of this family, to even agree to have a body? Is there something you did or said in any lifetime, and knowing is knowing, so any lifetime, that agreed to just clamp it down on behalf of that family lineage or him?
Yeah, what I'm seeing is around the times of the witch trials, but I think it was before. I think it was over in England, not in America. And I can just see him saying, like, "Don't do that. Don't do that."
Right.
Keep,
Protecting you.
Yeah. Because by doing that, if I did whatever it was I was doing, then that would bring exposure to everybody else.
Right. So any way in which he protected you, and whether he was a he or a she or a man or a they or whatever happened in any lifetime, that role that person played karmically, we're talking soul level, and it's so profound when we can know beyond knowing, right? So any role that was played that messaged into you that being the potency of a witch, which in this, what we're talking about is the potency of knowing more, of using your gifts, your abilities, of being able to see through, say out loud, understand what's needed, being able to care for others on mega levels, and being able to be energy medicine attuned, sorceress attuned, wisdom. Ooh, what's coming up as I'm just naming all of that? Yeah. I guess what's coming up for me is, Paula, if you being you in a big way and using your knowing and your fortitude, your intuition, maybe your psychic abilities, your body in a way that's incredibly healing and bringing the healer, quote unquote, coming in that way, if that was going to cause danger, are you willing to know?
Am I going to know? Is that what you said?
Are you willing to know?
Oh,
are you willing to know?
Yeah.
Right. So if we open you up, we're not going all or nothing. It's
Yeah.
not like, oh, turn it on, babe, and then we're just going to throw you out there and pretend that there's never a risk. So are you willing to really know So that if you are to stay open to the bigness, as we're calling it, to the more of you, to the facets of you that are ready, like it seems like you need an accountability partner in yourself and maybe with others. I'm happy to be there for you to really watch if whether or not something you're doing is actually going to cause harm. You're not going to want to cause harm, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So
yeah, I like the accountability partner. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's invoke that you don't have to do this in an all or nothing unconscious way. That as we invite you to break apart and tear apart literally and dissolve these agreements with yourself and others that so that you don't have to stay small, that being big isn't just like, okay, 1, 2, 3, I'm done and now I'm unconscious that way. That what we're saying is you get to take steps and you get to open and you get to watch and you get to have witness and you get to have accountability so that you know how your energy is affecting others. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's as you go ahead.
I just asked what it brought up.
As you were saying that, a number of the workshops and retreats that I have done, and worrying how people were going to respond because they might not agree with what I said. And in the last one that I did, it was more of like, that's for them. If they don't agree with it, that's for them. That's not for me. That's theirs to address and deal with, or not.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So there's this dynamism of just being you, and how much of yourself are you cutting off just in living your everyday life, right? Am I not even tuning in for myself to like the kind of energy I need in order to like show up and be aware of my environment and know where I'm going, what I'm doing, what I'm eating, how I'm thinking, really.
Yeah.
So one part is just personal. And then there's like, how does that express? How does that flow into the world? So then I have an impact on others, right? And maybe being all of yourself will change some of your relations. Okay. Or maybe some people will turn around and walk away. There's that. And then there's like, wow, the part of you that engages and awakens to be a facilitator and to be a coach and to be a healer. That says, wait, then there's another part that's like, that opens to giving in a different kind of way. In a way that you know, because you've trained for it, but now you're ready to do more of, right? And that's a different accountability, right? So I think we're talking about the wholeness of you, not just like, oh, I'm going to go do this great thing for my work and then go home and stay small, or I'm not just going to be amazing in my own environment and then still hide my gifts.
Right. No.
I think the invitation is like a rewiring of your center, really, of who you are.
That really landed.
So let's include all of you, the parts of you that are for you and for your eyes only, and for just the way you live in yourself, the way you think in yourself, the way you get up and move. And the parts of you that are for others, that splashes and melts and tumbles into like your family members and the friends around you and the environment you live in. And the parts that are like, oh, then I take that and I fire it up and I offer something because I can do that for others. And the parts that are like, I'm going to plug in and resource on a whole nother level to gift to those who are asking for it.
We get asked all the time what we do to take care of ourselves. So we decided to gather the top 5 self-care tips and techniques we use on the daily and gift them to you for free. It's called the Ultimate Self-Care Bundle to clear your energy, boost your vitality, and feed your soul. We'll share the golden rule to health, well-being, and happiness no one should live without, a delicious energetic detox bath recipe that relaxes and clears energetic invasions at the same time, a quick immune boost we swear by, and 2 other goodies that will support you when you need them most. So if you're feeling drained, out of sync, or just need a little or big reset, go to lakiaramethod.com/podcast-bundle to claim your free gift. That link will also be in your show notes. We hope these tools bring you as much support as they bring us every single day. All right, back to the show.
And let's feel, what would you need to let go of in order to choose you?
Old stories.
Mm-hmm.
Old stories.
Mm-hmm. What would you do with them?
Pardon me?
I said, what would you do with them? And then I know you were maybe going to share something else. So feel free to go with that.
Yeah, I was going to say a lot of things back from school and growing up in the world in which I did in school. What would I do with them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like
You know
what do we do with all these stories that honestly what we know is if we get sick or tired or blown out for some reason, we fry our circuits because we do too much, the world is hard, whatever, we don't sleep, our health is whatever, those stories might be there. Like they may not always go, they're imprinted, right? They may not always go away. So what do we do with them so that they don't become central stage?
The image that I just got was like blowing them up into a balloon and then letting the balloon float away.
Yeah. Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And you may need to do that a million times. And maybe you'll do that once on some of them and they'll really go away. Right. So are you willing to know that part of your bigness is a certain kind of responsibility to yourself?
Yeah.
Meaning, like, if you really know yourself, you know what to do and you know how to move those things. Right. And so are you willing to really know yourself beyond the stories and to put your primal brain to use to say, I'm actually going to fight for this. I am going to take care of you the way you might take care of your grandchild, the way you might like, whoa, I just got like such a shiver on that.
Yeah. That I did too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know this. The mama in you, that the deep, deep, deep soul in you knows how to move that shit out of the way when you know when something's not true. So if there's been delusion or confusion or distortion and all big words, but whatever, like any way in which we do this to ourselves, we get confused about who we are. We get seduced by those loud, ancient messages. Like, are you willing to know the difference between those stories, those thoughts, those feelings, and who you really are?
Yes, absolutely.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got to go.
Yeah. In a little under your heart space, like in the center, but like in the inside, bring your mind's eye inside and drop down. Like if we're in the center of the heart meridian and we drop a little bit under it and a little behind, there's something right there that I think will help us. There we go. Got it. What is that?
I'm hearing that song from Hair, Let the Sun Shine.
Amazing. Okay. Let it in. See what happens when you ignite that into the sun, the like facets of like, I love to, when I think about the body repairing tissue, I feel like every little cell is this orbit of a sun, like in a crystal, and it's like lighting up and we're offering that. So I'm going to offer you some tissue repair energetically right in there, picturing and imaging that the cells and particles in you are really, truly already organic and naturally light. And that light activates the divinity in the cells and particles inside and out. Just encouraging you to tune into that sunshine in that spot in the body. And with that light, as it laser beams through all the distortions and all the old stuff, who do you become if you attune to that frequency?
First word that popped into my mind was boundless. That I could do whatever I want and nothing would stop me. Yeah.
Right. And that is light, right? So it's like, that's like the infinite being, that's the infiniteness in it, right? So now you have a body and let's put them together. So if that light is boundless and able to move through anything, do anything, and it's working inside your body, Paula, knowing what it takes to be safe, to be here, to be in a finite, complex system of a body, what would you know about being you if you could have both?
Would you ask the question again?
Mm-hmm. Let's invoke that you get both the radiance of your light being, the sun, the potency of just endless possibilities. You could do anything. And that you're both that, and you're also you, a body on this earth. If they were merged and working together, what would you know about being you? With access to that light as it shines and moves through this body, and the body is committed to being on this earth, what would you know about being you?
It feels like something's stopping me.
Okay.
I'm not getting there.
Okay. So let's go there. So the stop.
Yeah. It feels like a barn door.
Yeah. Because I felt such a potency of you being able to tune into your body and know, here's the wounds, here's the stories, here's the pain, here's the history. And even like the history, like karmically, if we believe in that, right? Which you and I do, but like, okay, then that goes back lifetimes through lineages, through my family history, through genetics. And then I could feel you tuning in completely, amazingly so, to that sun and the bright light of who you are and this incredible consciousness that like is forever non-ending, could do anything. And it's right in the sweet spot of connecting them together.
And as you're saying that, I feel such fear coming up.
Good. Okay, so fear stops you. Great. Let's look at the fear. Fear.
Something just said, I'll die.
So if you were to embody and merge your body with this infinite source, the light being of you, that what you heard is, and what you're afraid of is that you would just die. Maybe like it would obliterate you is the word I heard. So did you decide at some point that you're only here to, like, it's not only here, but that some part of your agreement in being a body means that you have to stay small? Is that the contract I was feeling related to your father's energy in some other lifetime? It's like, oh, well, if I give that contract up, what am I even here for? I'm going to go.
Yeah. I feel like stepping stones from different lives that would follow through with that. I had an image of one lifetime where I know that I was a healer that was like known within the community, and people would come to me. So I know there was a part of me that acknowledges that and can accept that feels separate from this. So I believe that happened before.
Yeah. Right. And I personally feel like a lot of us are completing a whole incarnation of our soul and then stepping into the next one in this same body, rather than like dying and leaving and going to the next lifetime doing the next body, that there's some invitation happening on the earth right now for us to evolve ourselves. And I'm wondering if what we're seeing is this complete completion of that original agreement as to why you were going to be a body. And if what we're doing is starting to look at like, oh, wow, we need to renegotiate that. We need to let the soul's being evolve so that you can actually begin to see the next incarnation. And I think you're already seeing it, but that we can actually acknowledge that turnover is like not just a chapter of your life ending, but a book closed and another book opens, right? So if it's possible that you are basically closing the book of your original soul's kind of karmic, even maybe destiny, and that it's actually time to literally close that and to say, thank you, I've learned what I can from that. Not that there isn't always learning, but now I'm actually here for something else. Oh, what does that feel like? I before I even finish my thought, I can see something happening, feel something happening.
It was a mixed feeling, a feeling of like being scared of, oh my God, what would that be? But also, oh my God, what could that be?
Right. Good. A little excitement in there. And I think fear and excitement feel the same. So sometimes we get confused. And maybe you weren't wrong. Maybe you really did agree to come in first for this contract, that if you finished it, it would end and you'd go. And that it was really about reconciling smallness on the earth and reconciling what that means and what you were willing to give up on behalf of other people's safeties and all these things that may be true. And I would encourage you to write and think about that in session more. And maybe what we're doing is looking at what comes next. So the question I would ask, if that's true, is if you resolved this enough, this whole enough, where you have been safe, where you haven't been safe, the things you've done, not done around staying small, hiding or coming out, whatever those things are, all that you've learned you can do on behalf of others' safety, all that you learned doesn't work anyway because we can stay small forever and people still get hurt. If that was complete enough, and that's not what you're living for, what in fact would you be living for? If that's your roots that you stand on as a foundation, Paula, everything you've learned is the foundation, then what would your soul now want your body to live on earth to learn?
I'm enough.
Yeah. Right. So if you're enough, what would you do with yourself? What would you be here for? What would this next whole half of your lifetime be about?
First word that came into my mind was fun and play.
Uh-huh.
And don't go up here. Stay down here.
Yeah. So I'm going to put that in context so that healing and being you could also be fun, that you're enough. Mm-hmm. And then we start to say, well, if I had those things and I knew that it also could be fun, what would I hope for? What would I hope this body would do here? What would I hope I could bring or do or be? There you go. You're getting it right there. Nice.
My hope is that when I am with people, that they get a little glimpse of who they really are.
Oh my goodness. That you could shine light beyond other people's wounds.
Shine a
and
light.
You could take that light you have and shine it in. Just by being you, you would radiate in a way that allowed people, if they wanted, and if it was meant to be, to actually see a little glimmer of who they are beyond their pain. Mm-hmm. Wow. Right. And that may extend to more of that, because I could see in your practice that that's all about that. It's like, I am here to show up and help clear the space so that you can see who you really are beyond all of that. I could just sob in a good way. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So let's drink that in. That potentially what we're doing is saying, oh, wow, no wonder all that stuff is up, because I'm finishing the book. I got to end it, and it won't be ended on a perfect, pretty story, because that shit lives on earth. But oh my goodness, what I could do is take that light now and do something different. I could live it in a way that others could just naturally, if they so choose, like if they felt it, they would naturally want to also see who they are. Mm-hmm. That maybe I would give people a little glimmer of hope, little glimmer of healing. Or maybe even a lot, just by being you. It's like you're living for the question, what's possible? What's possible when I live my light in this human form? What's possible if I let my light shine through? What will happen? I wonder what will happen. You get to learn all about that. I wonder what will happen if I just let it shine through.
It feels exciting.
Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah.
I mean, what's just coming is possibilities are endless. If I let it really shine, possibilities are endless. And there's another little piece to it that I would be moving and operating in that endless space, because that's the right thing for me to do and move forward, and not what I think other people think I should be doing. So I'm doing it for myself.
And what a wild turnaround to think, oh my God, if I, at this time in my life, oh my goodness, however we want to say that, at this time in my life, if I were to allow myself to live it true to myself, I actually might help people more. than if I go outside and try to figure what they want and give it to them. Like it maybe is more helpful if I live it. And I don't know if you have people in your life that you look at and you say, that's somebody living it. And you might want to look at that and see that and like peer into like, what does it look like when people live embodied that way? And does it in fact true? I think you'll find it's true, right? That the more someone embodies in that, I can only say it like trueness to self, right? The more that allows others who want that to actually have it versus like, I'm going to hold that back and try to figure out what you need and then do all the right things to give you what you need. But it's not, I'm not in it with you, right? You're not able to glean the spirit connection in that. I think we're talking about your essence, your spirit shining through. And you don't have to wait to like figure it out for everybody else before you get it or give it. That is actually part of getting and giving it is having it.
Yeah. What I just heard was I don't have to worry about everything being perfect before I move forward.
Right. Right. Or you might never move forward because especially at this time in society, there's a lot going on. That's very hard to reconcile. And we will not fix the outside world first. We will not.
No.
We will not fix other people first. We will not, for any ways in which you had to in your life, hold back on behalf of others. I think that's just not how you're living anymore. And not that you'll never do that in a moment. Our coping skills are our coping skills. Sometimes we have to hold ourselves back in the situation, but that's different than living without knowing who you are. Because if you're already embodied in who you are, in that lightness and attuning to it, it's okay if you shut it down once in a while to take care of something, right? But doesn't mean you don't know it. Does not mean that you don't know who you are and that it's still not helping, right?
Right. It's a choice.
Yeah. Yeah. And all coping skills are welcome.
Yeah.
So, but let's activate that divine essence in you and the part that knows that, wow, maybe this book of my life is about asking what happens when I show up fully, more fully, and probably every year you're going to learn that there's more fully than you were the year before. What happens when you show up fully to really know you and to live that merged source of light with your body, to bring them together, to emanate through that, to receive, to give from that place? And what contribution can I be from that place of myself? And clearing anything that blocks you from that renegotiation and shifting and shaping of all of the habits that you have so that you can show up differently. I think it'd be a great home play to write like what that first book's beginning, middle, and end were, what this next book's, beginning and end trajectory is. We don't know all the middle yet, but we can know the intention in it, right? And what's happening? What are we saying? Okay, that's closed now and complete enough. And now I'm actually going to step in, give my brain a new job, which is to really explore what it looks like to be even more fully enlivened in your light source, in your body, living from that place, and activate change and generate healing. And we're going to come to the close soon, so I'm going to see what we might need in order to really integrate. How do you feel in there?
Very relaxed. Almost tired. Like I feel like I want to go take a nap. Like it feels like that was a lot. I can feel shifts happening within my body. So
yeah. Do you have time to take a nap? Good. Yeah, I think it would be a good idea to let yourself just power it in. If you think that this work that you've been doing to stay small is like a muscle clamp, like your fists have been clenched for your whole lifetime, on some level you've been holding and holding and holding and holding and like waiting and figuring it out. And I'm sure you've had plenty of moments of letting it go. But like generally, then when we unclamp for a minute, it's exhausting. It's like it hurts, and it kind of needs to like, it goes from being overused to very tired, and then we pop back up to a center. And so I think there's a healthy dropping the tension for a minute, that would make sense. Resting and just going slow with yourself, maybe getting in a detox shower or bath or yeah, that feels helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like there's another session on there just to look at like the renegotiations as you're doing them. So I'm happy to like take care of you and jump in somewhere else and look again at what comes next, after we do such a big reorganizing. Through the fear into excitement, from one entire identity into like, oh, maybe a completely different one, right? Of what our soul is asking. So let's look at that, and maybe it'll be a part 2 podcast.
Okay.
Give you a minute to integrate. Thank you so much for all of that. Let's just make sure there's not one last thing you need before we close up this part of the
Embodied divinity.
Great. Would love to. So let's activate the divinity in every single cell and particle of your whole entire body. We activate that divinity and we bring it through the center of your whole infinite being, infinitely through every bit of who you are, through all of you and through all times, spaces, dimensions, and universes. Activate change and generate healing immediately. And let's activate the divinity in every cell and particle of that whole body of you, Paula. Acting that divinity to be in the awareness of change and growth, reconciliation, excitement, knowing that you get to receive exactly who you are in this moment and to navigate that into the expression of your whole life. And we activate that divinity in your cells and particles and bring it through the center of that whole being of you and through all of you and through all times, spaces, dimensions, and universe. Activate change and generate healing. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being a part of the Activate Change community. If you want even more amazing content, head over to lachiaramethod.com. And while you're there, be sure to join our email list so you don't miss a thing. You'll get instant access to our ultimate self-care bundle to clear your energy, boost your vitality, and feed your soul, plus exclusive content, special invites to live events, and personal updates we don't share anywhere else. We're so grateful to be on this journey with you. See you next time. Saying a huge thank you to Ali Halpert, the incredible musician and songwriter behind the songs featured in this podcast. To hear more of Ali's work, visit alihalpert.com. You'll also find the link in our show notes.